Hey guys, NASCAR Mobile 48 back again, and welcome back to another tier list episode. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking at, the 2020 Xfinity Series lineup and rating them of like who are my favorites, like from favorites to like to neutral to dislike and hate. So, oops, that was an accident. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this started because you guys like my NASCAR tier list for 2021 racetracks. Like I got like a lot of views. Well, to me, because my videos haven't really been doing great lately, since last year. But that doesn't matter. I'm gonna be doing like a tier list, this week, and then next Saturday I'll be doing another one, but for the truck series. And after that, maybe do like an Xfinity series schedule and the truck series schedule. Because the truck series schedule just released like a couple of days ago, and we saw that Eldora won't be on it, and Knoxville will be added. So, we'll probably do the truck series, and then do after that. Let's just say we got a lot to do, and in this next few weeks. And also, I'm gonna be going to Target later. I won't be filming in the store, because of the music, and I have to remove my mask, and I don't want to do that. I'll just have the review. Well, that's if I can find some cars. So let's pray. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing started. So first off, we have Harrison Burton. Harrison Burton, really, I'm not a JGR person. I'm gonna put him in neutral. I don't hate Harrison Burton. He's a good driver. Like that win at Texas, that he didn't win that race. Noah Gragson choked. And I'm not trying to put hate on Gregson, but yeah. Yeah, I put Harrison Burton in neutral, because him and Gregson had that incident in the second Kentucky race, uh, and I guess Harrison Burton had to be a little bit mad, but he was kind of extreme. Like he started the fight, like he threw the first punch, and then, well, actually pushed Gregson, and then Gregson just just clobbered him. That was funny, but yeah, I put Harrison Burton in neutral. I don't hate him, but he's definitely a good driver, and him getting 4 wins this past season. I can't wait to see what he does next year. Like he'll do good. Now next up, I believe this is David Starr. Yeah, this is David Starr. We're gonna have a lot of neutrals, guys, because I don't really know that much about these Xfinity Series drivers, but I'll put him in neutral. He's okay. He's okay. Oh man, there's gonna be a lot of drivers in neutral today. Next up, we have Jeffrey Earnhardt. I would put him right here because of NASCAR Heat 4. He's really made me mad in that game, but nah, I'm just kidding. Jeffrey Earnhardt, he's okay. I'll just put him there. Man, oh man, man. This was like my. I watched the. I only watched the playoffs in the 2019 Xfinity Series season, and I've also watched the playoffs in, or no, actually, I only watched the finale in the 2018 Xfinity Series season, and I only watched the playoffs in the Xfinity Series last year. This year, I watched the entire Xfinity Series, and so next year will be my first. And so next year will be my second time watching a full Xfinity Series season, and next year will also be the first time I'll be watching a full Truck Series season. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, next up, Justin Allgaier. Allgaier is my favorite, all-time favorite Xfinity Series driver. He's just so humble. He's like a veteran of the series. He's like a Jimmy Johnson and stuff. Wins a lot, but doesn't win that much. I'm surprised Allgaier just does not have a championship. He needs that championship because I don't know. He's that good that he just does not have a championship. He reminds me of Mark Martin and Denny Hamlin, drivers, and Carl Edwards, drivers who have so many wins that just come up so close. And when I say so many wins, Allgaier only has 11 wins, but hey, Allgaier is still good, and he's returning to Junior Motorsports next year, so that's great. Next up, Michael Annett. Michael Annett is also one of my favorite drivers. He's also like he's sort of like Justin Allgaier. Like they both were in the Cup Series, and they decided to stay in the Xfinity Series because that was as good as they could get and stuff. And Michael Annett, I like his 2021 what is it? Flying Pilot, something like that. I don't know what his sponsor is, but I like his paint schemes from the last 3 years. They're pretty cool, and yeah, he's one of my favorites. Not really the best, got that one win at Daytona last year, but he's a solid enough driver. Like if you want to count on Michael Annett, he will definitely get you in the playoffs. Now, next up, we have Myatt Snyder. Myatt Snyder, I like Myatt Snyder. He had that incident with Noah Gregson, but hey, it's not. Gregson did wreck him on purpose, so I have to give something for Myatt Snyder. And then, Gregson was not happy with Myatt Snyder at Pocono, wrecking the field and stuff, with Austin Cindric and Daniel Hemrick involved. But Myatt Snyder, he's a pretty good guy, and really, Ryan Sieg's racing team's been doing really good, and you got to thank Mike Snyder and Ryan Sieg both, because Ryan Sieg made it to the round of eight, and Mike Snyder, even though he hasn't had a win, but he's came up so close. So, and Mike Snyder does pretty good in that '93 car. Next up, Jesse Little. Jesse Little. I like him. Jesse Little's a pretty chill guy. Like I remember, well, I don't know if you guys like watch the NASCAR Weekly podcast, because I do, and I like how they had, the guys, they had Jesse Little on the show. That was a pretty good episode, and it shows how Jesse Little's such a chill guy, and I like how they brought up what happened at Kansas. That was funny, but Jesse Little, he seems like a chill guy, and he's driving the Ford car, which Ross Chastain drove part time last year, and he had a solid enough job. Like I don't know where he finished in the point standings, but Jesse Little, I'll like him. Really, I don't even know what I'm saying. Next up, we have Anthony Alfredo. I also like Anthony Alfredo. He's a pretty cool driver. Pretty good. He's a good iRacer as well. And then yeah, you had that incident at Kansas that I was very shocked. I was just could not believe what was happening. But I'm glad Mike Snyder got out of that wreck. He got out of the wreck, a-okay. But yeah, but Maya Snyder, I mean, not Maya Snyder, but Anthony Alfredo, he's had a pretty good season. I don't know what's gonna happen to him in 2021. He might return to the 21 car. It might be another part-time ride. We're not sure, but Maya Snyder definitely deserves that 21 car. Next up, Justin Haley. Justin Haley's another driver I like. He's not really my favorite, but he's a pretty solid enough driver for colleague racing. He's returning to the team next year. And really, Kurt Busch said there's a 50-50 chance that he will be retiring after 2021. So maybe Justin Haley could be teammates with Ross Chastain 2022. Who knows? But, I have to say Justin Haley's a really good driver, so I put him in the like section. And good at super speedways. Next up, Brett Moffitt. Brett Moffitt has to be one of my favorites as well, because look at him. Brett Moffitt ran so good with our motorsports, at Dover and some other racetracks, and Kansas, like Kansas. So he has to be one of my favorites. Like he's like my top five favorite truck series drivers, and he's a really cool underrated driver. So really watch out for Brett Moffitt running full time next year. He could. I'm not really sure if he's a playoff contender, or a winning contender. I think he should finish like maybe top 16 in the standings. Really, I don't even know what I'm saying. I have to see what he does, in the first few races. Next up, Joe Gav Jr. He's a neutral. I don't really know that much about him. Then you have Jeb Burton. Jeb Burton, he's one of my favorites, because he's been going through a lot. Like he's gonna be in this car in 2021. So we'll see how he does in the 10 car for colleague racing. But he had a pretty good season with Junior Motorsports, like a whole lot better than Daniel Hemrick, because Hemrick's had nothing but bad luck. But Jeb Burton, he finished second at the second Richmond race. Uh, I think it was during the playoffs, or actually, it was during the Cup Series playoffs and stuff. But yeah, Jeb Burton, he's a pretty good underrated driver. Like he almost won at Talladega, and he has another opportunity. This is his one in a lifetime chance that he has to win in this series. Because he's now going full time, and I think Jeb Burton, he's the man that could get it done. Next up, Tommy Joe Martens. Tommy Joe Martens, I like him. He's not favorite, but Tommy Joe Martens, he's a pretty cool guy. Pretty good racer. I like how he had that good run at Charlotte Motor Speedway until got that hard impact into the wall. Man, that sucked. But Tommy Joe Mars has been having a solid season. A lot of Xfinity Series drivers you don't really hear of these days. They've been getting their best career finishes. Like, didn't Tommy Joe Martins get his best career finish at Texas? Or the no, not the Roval, because he wrecked in that race, or in some race, in one race, I forgot. I think it was Texas. I'm not sure, but Tommy Joe Martins, here and there, he's a pretty good driver. Next up, AJ Allmendinger. AJ Allmendinger, I put him in the like section, because in the road course races, at Watkins Glen, I was kind of rooting for AJ Allmendinger. And I don't hate Austin Cindric. I just like Allmendinger a little bit better, and I was rooting for him at Mid Ohio and at the Daytona Road Course until he made that dumb mistake and got into Allgaier. But then Allmendinger goes back to back at the Roval, just like Chase Elliott. So he's a really good road racer. So you have to like him, because you can't doubt that he's a really good driver or road course racer. Chad Fincham, he's He's okay. Ross Chastain is has to be one of my favorites. Like my brother, he even was rooting for Ross Chastain to get his first win in 2020, and we just kept seeing him struggling and just come up so close, but just not get it, and it sucked how he didn't even make the championship for us. So really, we'll see what Ross Chastain can do in the 42 car. I bet he could do a better job than Matt Kenseth, but who knows? Who knows? I'm not trying to put hate on Matt Kenseth. Matt Kenseth's a good guy, but we'll see what Ross Chastain can do. But this year's been pretty good, except just not getting that win. Jeff Green, the 2000 NASCAR Xfinity Series champion. He's neutral. I don't really know all these guys. What is this? 52 car Cody Vanderwall, something like that. I don't know who that is. Brandon Brown. Actually, I like Brandon Brown. He's had an impressive run this year. Last year was the 86 car. Now this year he's the 68 car, and he's been having a pretty good run in the playoffs. He finished what? Didn't he finish what in like ninth in the standings? Like when I saw the Charlotte Roval race, he was ahead of Riley Herbst, Michael Annett, and Harrison Burton. I was thinking, wow, Brandon Brown, he's actually pretty good. I wish they just had a better alliance and they could actually compete for wins and maybe go after a better shot at a championship. Who knows? But Brandon Brown, he's a pretty cool driver. Next up, Daniel Hemrick. Daniel Hemrick's been one of my favorite Xfinity Series drivers. I've been watching him since 2018. Not getting that win, coming up so short. I mean, so close, and he almost got that. Like, if there's like two more laps at that Charlotte race, since Hemrick finished second, I bet Hemrick would have won that race. But we'll see what happens because now next year Daniel Hemrick will be in this car because he's a pretty good driver, and this could be his one chance to get his first career win or maybe even more because Daniel Hemrick, he is really good. Like Daniel Hemrick at Kansas, he had damage and stuff. He was a couple laps down. He comes back to finish second. I mean, wow. I haven't seen that, but Daniel Hemrick's a pretty good driver, so I rate him as my favorite. Ryan Sieg is another underrated driver. I like Ryan Sieg because Las Vegas, that is his track. Las Vegas is Ryan Sieg's, what do you call it? Bread and butter, because he's pretty good at Las Vegas. I have to say, seeing him in his last few runs there, like he finished what? Didn't he finish what in the top five in both Las Vegas races? So if there's a place for Ryan Seek to get his first career win, it has to be on a mile and a half, like Kansas and Las Vegas. Next up, Austin Hill. Austin Hill, I like him. It really sucks how he did not make the championship four because of Martinsville. 'Cause, Austin Hill, he's good at mile and a half and other tracks, but he's terrible, terrible at the short tracks. And if he wants to make the championship four, he has to find a way to get that done. Like he could have won at Kansas, but that was all GMS. That was all Brett Moffitt and Zane Smith going after it for the win. But Austin Hill, he's still a nice driver. He's a pretty cool driver, and he finished. Didn't he get a top 10 at Kansas earlier? Or no, in the playoffs he did. So we'll see what happens for him next year. But yeah, Austin Hill, he's a pretty good driver. Jeremy Clements. I put him in neutral. I don't really know a lot about Jeremy Clements, but he's an okay driver. Now Ray Black Jr. I don't really know much about him. A lot of these drivers I don't really know about. Alex Abay I think is underrated because apparently in NASCAR Heat 5 they made him like a god or something. Like he's pretty good. But Alex Abay, he's a pretty good road racer. So I can't wait to see what he does in the road courses next year because he could possibly get a win. So things are pretty uncertain for next year, so we'll see what happens. Chase Briscoe. I do like Chase Briscoe. He's not really my favorite driver, but you have to like the guy. Having a 9-win season, not winning the championship and stuff, finishing fourth. Oh God. You have to feel for Chase Briscoe, all the struggles he's been through this year and stuff. It really sucks, and I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's my dog. He's sniffing the air and he's touching my computer, but whatever. But yeah, you have to like Chase Briscoe. Shoot, I have to hurry it up. All right, Brandon Jones, I'd say I like him. He's like a good driver. Matt Mills, don't know about him. I don't know who this is. Wait, that's Colby Howard. Is that his name? I don't know. Austin Cindric, I like him. He's pretty cool. Noah Gragson has to be my favorite. Him and Allgaier are pretty close to being my favorite driver. Riley Herbst, I have to say dislike, and Timmy Hill, he has to be in my like. Now, I have to say Riley Herbst dislike because, Not a good season. He didn't deserve to be in that 18 car, and putting him in the 98 car not going to make him any better. So I don't see him winning a race. Well, he could win a race, but not a championship. Oh, guys, I have 10 seconds. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll do the truck series next week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.